Hi, this is Vision Slightly Blurred with Sarah Jacobs, and
I'm Alan Murabayashi.
yeah!
Have you ever entered a photo contest?
I think I entered a PDN one years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
What
maybe
happened?
in like 20. I didn't win.
I entered a photo into there's a magazine called Hawaii Magazine. I had shot a astrophotography image that I really liked and submitted it because I was like, oh, why not? Well, let's just see what happens. In the back of my head thinking, I'm going to win this thing. I made the finals, but I didn't win, and
Ooh.
they didn't even tell me that I made the finals. I had to go to the website to see my photo there, and it was a little weird.
Rude.
So you're a photo editor, and you ostensibly pay attention to all the hot new kids on the block. Are there any photo contests that you sort of pay attention to on a regular basis?
I mean, I love PDN's 30 under 30,
Yep.
obviously. I always feel like that's like the highest caliber, best photography that interests me as a portrait photographer and as a photo editor. Another way that I've interacted with photo contests has been running all the finalists or all the winners on, for example, Business Insider. So it's a way for photo editors today, digital media editors, to get content for free. That's really easy.
Yeah.
It makes your job so easy because you just get sent a giant file folder and all you got to do is copy and paste the caption, and there you've got a slideshow.
It's always expected on behalf of the photographers, if they win as a part of a contest, and all the terms indicate this, that your image can be used as a part of the promotion of that contest.
Right.
And of course, if you win, you understand that you're part of the PR package of that contest.
Right.
In the past few years, they haven't only been showing the winners. They kind of do this week's best images are.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So all of a sudden, if you have a contest that's open for, let's say, 4 months, you're, as a contest organizer, generating content for 4 months before you even make a decision.
Exactly.
And then you might have, these are the ones that made the finals, and
Right.
here's the winner. Part of the discussion that I have in my head every year is, do we still recommend people participate in contests? This is like an existential question for me because we spend a lot of time researching the contests every year to put these out. We know people read them. We know, obviously, see the people download it. We know people that are organizations that are excluded, write in and give us crap about it.
Yeah, and people are still submitting.
And people are still submitting in large bunches.
Right.
In large bunches.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was reading through the guide, and I was super surprised to see the Red Bull contest.
It's back.
It's back. They're going to do it annually now. It used to be every 3 years. I mean, they've gotten over 5,000 photographers submitting. I mean, that's huge.
It's huge.
That's really huge.
So if you had a contest that actually had good PR, but the prizes were kind of sucky, like if you were an adventure photographer and there was, Red Cow energy drink, and they could guarantee a lot of press coverage, but there was no prizes, would you enter it? Is that something that you would?
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. No. I'd want money.
It's got to have money.
Gotta have the money. Where's the money?
Another area that we focused a little bit on this year was the composition of the juries. Mm-hmm. And we found some well-known contests that were positioned as international contests, or at least they aspired to attract international photographers. And when you look at the jury composition, it's like all white guys. Right?
Great.
And in some cases, there might be 10% women. Mm-hmm. And it's just shocking to me that the conversations that are occurring in society at large in regards to the diversity and Me Too and all these other things, that these contests somehow feel insulated from that discussion, and they continue to have these all-male juries. Like, why shouldn't every jury be 50% women at this point?
Right.
Why shouldn't there be Blacks and Asians and Latinos on every single jury for every single contest?
Yeah, 100%.
And even just from a marketing standpoint, that seems to me that by showing these faces that you're going to attract through their network
Right.
a more diverse crowd and just more entries in general.
Right. Yeah. If you want to run an international contest, you better get those faces.
Part of the rebuttal to this argument is, why do we need the diverse jury for something like a wildlife competition? And I think you could make a partially plausible argument to say it doesn't really matter because you're just judging like a parrot or a lion or something. But on the other hand, again, if there's a black face or an Asian face appearing in the jury list, that might attract a certain thing. And the other thing is, if you're a wildlife photographer, a white male wildlife photographer who's only gone to Africa, and your conception of wildlife is big game trophy, then the urban kid that goes into their backyard to see an opossum is necessarily rejected as being representative of wildlife because you don't have their experience.
Maybe the duck that appeared in Central Park will win this year. Something this year.
Oh, the Mandarin duck.
The Mandarin duck. That's the one.
Yes, let's inundate all the photo contests with Mandarin duck. I am a judge for the Audubon bird contest.
That's right.
So I assume maybe we'll see a couple Mandarin duck.
I bet you will. Can you please keep account of how many?
Oh, that's a very good idea.
You totally should.
I mean, and also to its credit, it's a good looking duck. I have feelings for that duck.
Amazing. So basically, like, what at the end of the day, like, what do you think photographers should be looking at before they enter a photo contest?
I think you have to really weigh whether the exposure is going to be a part of your marketing plan and generate new business. If you're a professional photographer.
Yeah,
The criteria for a non-professional obviously is completely different. That's all about the likes and bragging and whatnot. I think that there's nothing wrong with saying the exposure is part of my marketing plan, and therefore I don't need to make thousands of dollars off of it. A contest like Aperture, for example, doesn't have a huge monetary prize, but people who know Aperture, and similarly, people who know PDN know PDN. So the lack of huge prizes for those two contests doesn't pose as much of a problem in my head that they might if they didn't have that same sort of brand cachet. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I do think that if you're the type of photographer that says, this is contest season and I have to enter these 5 contests, you might want to say, well, maybe I need to enter 3 contests. Maybe there's one that I do as my marketing thing because the exposure will be good.
Yeah,
but
tone it down a little bit, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, the 5,000 people that are entering Red Bull? Come on.
But you want that cash.
Yeah. I do. I understand that.